Hey team, Ray here and here for MotoNZ.com. This is my brand new Arai XD4 adventure style motorcycle helmet, and I really like it. But today we're going to put this head to head with a couple of the other offerings on the market. First up, we're going to take a quick look at the LS2 Pioneer Evo. Here's one I prepared earlier. So the LS2 Pioneer Evo, my one's a little bit dusty and dirty. I haven't used it since my moto camping expedition up in the Central Plateau. We did the 42nd Traverse. But before that, very well used. And this is the second iteration of this helmet. Before that, it was the LS2 Pioneer. The difference between this, the second generation of the helmet, and the first one, it has cutouts in the EPS for the speakers of your comms kit. You can see here I've got installed on the side the Airoh Pack Talk Bold mount, speakers and microphone installed in this helmet. This helmet, the outer shell, they call it a kinetic polymer alloy, or KPA. As I said, cutouts in the EPS for your comms kit. Just looking at my notes here, we've got, so the lining, so you've got the outer shell, inside that you've got, for want of a better term, polystyrene. Then you've got a layer of plastic with cutouts and clips inside it, and the foam, the bit that goes directly on your skin, is removable but clips to that plastic shell on the inside via little plastic clips. Not a bad system. On the chin, we've got a massive chin curtain here, and it is connected or fastened via this quick release ratchet system. Pull that, release, too easy. The clear visor that it comes with is pin lock ready. It doesn't come with a pin lock. Well, mine didn't come with a pin lock. This tinted visor is not pin lock. However, I am running the Whites branded stick-on. It's not a pin lock, but it's the same thing, anti-fog insert. This helmet can be used with or without visor. There's no blanking plates or anything if you were to take the peak off, but I suppose you could run it without the peak if you wanted. And it's ECE 22.05 certified. It also has an internal drop-down sun visor with this little lever down on the, I'll call it the chin bar, down on the lip here. Slide that back and the drop-down visor comes down. The one on my LS2 Pioneer, the first iteration of this helmet, it did break, but this one is, 3 or 4 years old and it's been working perfectly fine. Weight of this bad boy, 1,350 grams. So pretty competitive as far as weight. Comes in a stack of different colorways. This one is, a gunmetal grey and fluoro yellow, and can be seen from quite a way away. It's quite a good helmet, good color in that respect. Otherwise, I ran this helmet for quite a number of years, trail riding and adventure riding. Did a great job. I did take a spill on the 42nd Traverse, and as everyone knows or should know, you take a decent knock to a helmet, you should just pretty much throw it away. So it's been sitting on my shelf ever since. Next, we're going to dive into the Airoh COmmander. Oh, by the way, the LS2 Pioneer Evo retails at about $290, give or take, depending on where you buy it from here in New Zealand. Next up, the Airoh COmmander. This particular one I've been running for at least the last 6 months or so. I quite like this helmet. This colorway is Progress Red Blue, or Progress Blue Red. I can't remember which. The helmet itself retails at $729. So you're stepping up to that mid to upper echelon of price for the Airoh COmmander. The Airoh COmmander can be used with or without peak. You can also take the visor off and run goggles if you want. Comes with blanking plates for the screw mountings here, so it doesn't look hoary and huckery if you take the peak off. The outer shell, they call it a high performance composite. There are cutouts in the EPS layer for the comms speakers, and it does have this cool little hatch here. It's essentially a hole, a cutout to run the wires for your comms kit through, so you're not running them under the lip here. Slightly different approach in the foam. These kind of neck liner bits here, they don't actually come off the helmet. They all come out, they kind of fold out, and then you've got the EPS foam layers that come out inside here. But all removable and washable. And then you've got a decent chin curtain here as well. That's quite good. I like that. Fastening, we've got the double D's, insert joke here. Classic, been around forever. These ones, I haven't had any issues with rust or anything like that, but then I clean the helmet, you know, pretty regularly anyway. This came with a clear visor and pin lock inserted. Well, not inserted, came with a pin lock. You put it on yourself. And it's quite a cool helmet. I do like it. You've got a drop down sun visor with a lever over here. I haven't had any problems with that, although it does sometimes just touch your nose when it comes down, but otherwise no problems there. Can be used with or without goggles, the same as most of the other helmets here. This is ECE 22.05 rated, and it comes in the heaviest of the three helmets that I've got here at 1,400 grams, but you don't really notice it. It's got a smaller shell, both front to back and around, than the likes of the LS2 Pioneer, and so when you move your head around, it does feel smaller, so that weight kind of counteracts. You don't have a lot of weight hanging off your chin or anything like that. A cool feature, the Airoh COmmander helmet comes with a bracket. It replaces this little grommet up on top here, and you can mount your GoPro to it, so you're not sticking anything to the shell of the helmet. That's a cool feature. Ventilation, you've got this massive chin bar vent over here. You've got open and closable brow vents, and then the rest of it is exhaust vents. But otherwise quite cool. Depending on your comms unit, you can use the clamp mount, otherwise the sticky mount works well, just has to be mounted a little bit further back. So as I said, the COmmander retails around about the $729 mark and weighs 1,400 grams, but a really good lid, a very popular lid, especially with people riding the Arai 700. You show up to a Arai 700 ride and most people are rocking this helmet, probably because it rides the fine line between really safe but also quite affordable when you put it side by side with an Arai or a Shoei. But that's the that's the Airoh COmmander helmet. Really nice lid. I'll pop that over there. Let's bring in the big boy, the most expensive in our comparison here today, the Arai XD4, brand new one for me. This one retails at $1,099. The outer shell, they call it a complex fiber laminate. There are no cutouts in the foam, in the EPS, for speakers, but there are spaces for it. So slightly different to the other helmets that we've got here. The bits, the foam bits that sit against your cheeks and your jawline here, they actually come out. The EPS liner and the foam is all in one piece, and you kind of take the nice lining off, put the speakers in, put everything back together and piece it back together there. Arai, they do a great job with safety, and they don't compromise on safety. So you won't find a drop-down sun visor in this helmet, and they say basically because they don't want to compromise on the structural integrity, they want to get as much EPS in there, as much impact absorption material as possible. So for that reason, it came with a clear visor, which was pin lock ready. I got the tinted visor, which is also pin lock ready, and it came with one pin lock, so you might have to get a second pin lock there. It seals quite nicely around the top here. It also comes with some silicone kind of oil to redo the sealing. The visor itself has a couple of these little anti-fog vents that you can open or close on it. You've got your chin bar vents inside. You've got blanking plates that you can slide open for these chin bar vents here. You've got brow vents up the top and exhaust vents over here that you can open and close as well. So it's got quite a bit when it comes to ventilation. It's also you would think, being quite a solid peak, it would catch the wind a lot, but it doesn't seem to do that. It's a very round helmet, a very streamlined helmet, so it's quite quiet as well. What else have I got on my list here? Fastening, double D's in here. Can be used with or without goggles, with or without peak here as well. and it comes with the ECE 22.05 standard rating and weighs 1,669 grams. So I was actually wrong when I said the Airoh COmmander was the heaviest helmet. This is the heaviest helmet in my comparison, but you wouldn't know it. It doesn't catch the wind as much as I thought it might. It also doesn't feel heavy. It's got that nice small shell. Let's compare. As far as price goes, the Airoh and the Arai are the two most expensive helmets in this comparison. If you're looking for cheap and cheerful, the LS2 Pioneer Evo is going to do the job, but we've got to think safety here. If you're looking for safety, then these two are the helmets that you're going to want to go for. 750, just over 1,000. If price is your big thing, can you put a price on your head? I don't know. I mean, I went for the Airoh COmmander because it was slightly cheaper, but then I heard a lot of good things about the Arai XD4, which is why I went, okay, let's get one and let's do a comparison. Side by side, the Arai and the Airoh, if you look at the peaks on them, let's open that visor again so I've got something to hang on to. If you look at the peaks on them, one's got a very solid peak, one's got a lot of vents through the peak, so the Airoh probably just nips out the Arai as far as catching the wind and throwing your head back. But they're both incredibly good. They don't catch the wind as much as you think they would. They feel small on your head, and as far as weight goes, I can feel the Airoh COmmander is just slightly lighter than the Arai. But I don't think it's light enough to make a difference when it's on your head. So when it comes down to buying a helmet, what you need to do, instead of watching a lot of YouTube videos, is go and try them on. Go and try on the Airoh COmmander, go and try on the Arai XD4, try on the LS2 and anything else you can find as well, and just see what fits best for you and what feels comfortable. When it comes to having them on your head and fitting nicely, I've heard mixed reports from the Airoh riders, for want of a better term. The Arai has more air around your ears, so it feels less compressing on the ears. There's definitely, for me, there are no pressure points on my ears when I'm wearing the Arai. The Airoh, it's a mixed bag. Sometimes it feels incredibly comfortable and secure. Other times it can sometimes put pressure on certain parts of my ears and feel uncomfortable after a long ride. I think the Arai just pips the Airoh as far as being quiet on the road. Probably because the Arai is more streamlined, it's rounder, less wind disturbance. There are a few sharper edges on the Airoh COmmander, which could generate a bit more noise. Possibly those vents on the peak, creating a bit more turbulence, which creates noise around the helmet. But that said, they are still both incredibly good helmets. I'm going to try them back to back and see, you know, if I can come up with more differentiation between the two. But if your budget only goes to the Airoh, try it on. If it's comfortable, you'll be fine. Great, nice one. If you can stretch to the Arai XD4, maybe that's the way to go. But as I say, you got to go and try these helmets on and see for yourself. As far as comms go, I'm running the Cardo Pack Talk Edge. By the time you see this video, the Pack Talk Neo will be available in New Zealand as well. Basically the Edge, but you know, it scrimps a little bit on the magnetic ear mount and where the connectors are. It's going to do the same job and save you a little bit of coin, so if you want to go that way, that's a great option. All of these helmets are going to be perfectly fine with both of them. And when it comes to what the, you know, mounting options are, all the Cardos come with the clamp mount and the sticky mount, so it doesn't really matter what helmet you're going to run, as long as there's room in the ears for the speakers, you'll be fine and dandy. So I hope that's helped as far as helmets and helmet options go. Once again, we've got the LS2 Pioneer Evo, a really good budget option at about $270 odd, and it did me well. Stepping up, you've got the Airoh COmmander, a brilliant helmet, and I've done some long rides in this, put some miles on it, no complaints whatsoever. The Arai XD4, I'm yet to do a long ride in this, but I'll be testing it out over summer with the tinted visor, and I'll let you know. But chuck up in the comments below what you're running. I'd love to hear what helmets you guys out there are using, and you know, your experiences. Let me know. I'd love to hear. Chuck them up in the comments. I'm going to be doing write-ups. I've got write-ups on the other two helmets. I'm going to be doing a write-up on the Arai XD4 up at MotoNZ.com as well, if you want to check that out. There are full reviews on the Cardo kits. I've used the Cardo Pack Talk Edge. I've been using the Pack Talk Bold for a number of years. The Freecom X series, the X2 and the X4, they're all brilliant comms kits. It really depends on who you're riding with, what you're using it for, what's your use case. So if you want help, I'll chuck a link to the other videos I've done on the Cardos in the comments, in the information below this video. And if you've got any questions, chuck them up in the comments. Otherwise, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel, we're going to be doing an awesome giveaway that you won't want to miss out on, and it will go to one of our subscribers. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this with a riding buddy of yours. Check out Kiwi Rider Podcast as well on any podcasting app you listen to podcasts on. We chuck out a podcast every single week. And if you're looking for some written stuff, check out MotoNZ.com or KiwiRider.co.nz, which is a free magazine, comes out online twice a month. Otherwise, cheers for watching. We'll catch you next time.